Jairo Rito from Leota. He's a sophomore coming in at 28-5. For the Indians, he's had a great 2 years as a sophomore. Boy, you wonder how these guys can mature so quickly. And from St. Mary's, the Bears, Pat Mosier, also a sophomore. He's 31-5, so we have two young guys at this low weight to start things off.
Yeah, and it ought to be a pretty good match, too. Rito has wrestled some very tough competition this year, and, of course, Mosier from the other end of the state, I'm sure he's wrestled some tough kids back there, too, because they wrestle all classes at St. Mary's. They wrestle 6A, 5A, 4A, and 3A, so you know they both met some pretty tough competition. And we'll see which one is most ready tonight.
Well, for these sophomores, boy, what a great experience. And again, in wrestling some of the lower weights, obviously you aren't as big as you are when you get to be a senior, so you get some experience early, and the young guys kind of dominate these weight classes. Rito was a regional champion. He was ranked #1 coming in. Mosier, also a regional champion. I believe he was unranked, wasn't he? I'm going to double check the rankings here.
I have him down as having been ranked. He was ranked 6th, I believe, coming in.
Yes, 6th rated wrestler coming in, a sophomore. Again, for the Leota Indians, head coach John Flores. For the St. Mary Bears, head coach Regan Erickson. You've got two young wrestlers, as we said, getting to this point. Rito had to beat a good wrestler who was rated #2 by the Kansas Wrestling Coaches Association, Seth Harrison from Plainville, I believe. That final 11-0, so he got there, and also getting to the semis, he got by Andrews of Adora, and he got by Billy Moore from Minneapolis, so a good route for Rito, and he's had a good tournament getting here again with 28 wins. He has a couple losses on the season, but they were to some bigger schools, weren't they?
Well, he's lost 5 matches, but he lost 2 times to Polson from Garden City, who could very possibly be the 6A state champion. He lost to Franklin from Liberal, who ranked high in the 5A class. He lost to Jamie Hart from Hayes, who's ranked 4th in the 5A, and he lost to Olson from Manhattan, who's ranked in the 6A. So he hasn't lost anybody that didn't deserve it.
Coming into this match, Rito from the Leota Indians in a black and white singlet goes in for a takedown as he pushes back Mosier, who's in the blue and white singlet.
Yeah, we're going to go off the mat with no points scored there.
Help me out again, Fred. I'm not the expert on wrestling. You are. Clue me in on how points can be scored here, and we'll try to keep people up to date on the ways an individual can score.
Okay, as you notice, we start the match with both wrestlers on their feet, and that's to give them the opportunity for the standing wrestling, for the takedown moves. You score 2 points for a takedown, and we saw Rito right there get a 2-point takedown on a double leg because he stepped in for both legs. Now he's trying to turn Mosier on his back to get what we call a near fall. Now, fall is where when a wrestler is pinned, both shoulders are held to the mat for 2 seconds, but we have what we call near falls. And if they put the man on his back with his shoulders exposed with less than a 45-degree angle between his shoulders and the mat for for at least 2 seconds and less than 5, they score 2 points. If they hold him for 5 seconds, they score 3 points.
And he's really working to get a few points on that near fall. He really has them wrapped up. Again, both of these wrestlers are sophomores. For the St. Mary Bears, Mosier struggling, and it looks like he might pull away.
Not ready to reverse that. That was an awful good move by him. He lost the near fall there, possibly. Doesn't look like they're going to give any points for the near fall. But he was in deep trouble, and he came right on over and reversed out of it. That's pretty hard to do when you're wrapped up in that cradle that way.
Nice move, and a lot of times you would think when you're at a disadvantage, I guess that's when you have to work your hardest to not give up and try to make something turn into a positive.
Well, when you're going on your back, you better get to work.
That's probably the toughest spot to be in.
Yes, it is. It drains. I used to tell my boys when I was coaching that you use 3 times the energy trying to get off your back as he's keeping you there.
And as we hit the end of this first period of our first match of this championship tournament, 2-2. Rito and Mosier again tied. These two sophomores doing battle pretty evenly matched. 103-pound weight class. They flip a coin to see which one gets the call. Interesting, before the match we had a chance to talk with athletic director Ray Kovar from St. Mary's. He was talking about the season that Mosier had, and he met some pretty quality athletes too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He lost 3 of his 5 losses came to Holmes from Silver Lake, who came into this tournament ranked, and of course Rito beat Harrison, who beat him on the way through. He lost to Andrews from
Eudora, I believe.
Eudora, who came in ranked third, and he lost to a kid named Streeter from Hiawatha, who's also a very good wrestler. I've seen him wrestle this year, and he's a quality wrestler all the way. So no slouches here. No slouches here at all.
Again, it's still 2-2. Both wrestlers started from the up position. Again, after the first period, we're in our second period, 1:30 and counting, trying to drive him by the edge of the circle. And again, Rito is in the black and white singlet, and he's going to get some points.
Rito's going to, if he doesn't, there he got his takedown. He's pretty much in control now, and he's trying to lock up that cradle again.
Boy, these guys at 103, they're really just tough young guys. Boy, they're leathery, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're young and they're small, and they know they have to make the best of it this year, because when they start growing, the other guys get bigger too, and they get stronger.
I would imagine sometimes coaches would probably wish they could stop feeding these guys or put a book on their head to keep them that size.
Yeah, we always figured if you could get a senior in that smallest weight class, you were in good shape. Now, we see a situation here. Rito has him on his back, but his shoulders are out of bounds, so he's not scoring any points there. I mean, he can't pin him there. He can't score any points there until they can work him back inside that boundary line. And you see the referee's hand pointing out there. He's indicating that he's out of bounds. Now he's counting. Shoulders have come back in bounds. He's counted 2 or 3 times there. We may have a near fall. It looks like he's indicating he has a 2 count, so he's got a 2-point near fall.
Jairo Rito definitely in control. Again, a long line of great wrestlers from Leota.
Excellent program out there. I don't know how long Coach John Flores has been out there, but he's done an extremely good job since he's been there, and they're very fortunate to have him out there.
Well, they gave him 2 points for the takedown, and then he gets 2 more points for the near fall as he works the circle. So that's the end of the second period. That puts the wrestler from Leota, Jairo Rito, in front 6-2 after being tied or even at the end of the first period.
Yeah, Moser's taking some injury time here. Be a good time to talk about. You saw there at the beginning of the second period, the referee flipped his disc and gave Moser a choice. And Moser chose to defer his choice to the third period. So that gave Rito the choice, and for those who haven't been around wrestling for a while, now instead of just top or bottom, they can choose top, bottom, or neutral. So Rito chose the neutral. That's why we had a takedown situation going in the second period too. And of course, if Moser decides he wants to, he can take neutral in the third period also. So they could start the whole match on their feet. But at the beginning of this period now, Moser will make a choice, and we're coming back from the timeout now, but Moser's going to make a choice now as to whether he wants top, bottom, or neutral. He's going to take down, so that's when he feels like his best opportunity to score is coming from the bottom.
And he went over to the sidelines again and got a finger wrapped, as you saw on the screen. I think it's his little finger. I can't see from here, or the second finger. So again, a little bit of a pain there, but he'll try to work through it.
The fingers can take a beating in this sport. He gets slammed down to the mat. There's Rito trying to hold him in for near fall. They got a 2 count on it, so he gets a 2-point near fall.
Boy, Rito's been on the aggressive side of this match ever since the second period started, and it seems like Moser just can't get anything in gear, and he's been more defensive than offensive.
Well, he's trying to get out of there, but it seems like every time he moves, Rito puts him in something that costs him points. And of course, that's what you try to do when you wrestle.
Coach Don Flores was talking to the official during the timeout. I guess you just can never stop lobbying.
Well, part of that is with the 2-man refereeing team in the finals here. When you take time out, one referee goes with one wrestler and the other referee goes with the other wrestler to make sure everything is on the up and up.
1 point on the escape for Moser as they went out of bounds, and then the 2 points on the takedown for Jairo Rito. So it's currently 8-3 with 1:13 left in the third period. This is the 3-2-1A state championships at Fort Hays State University, Gross Memorial Coliseum, and boy, what an event. You could just feel the energy in the air, the color, the tradition, the pageantry. Nothing like it. The Kansas State High School Activities Association once again doing a great job bringing this together for these student athletes and fans.
Now you see Rito going in again for a takedown. He's not finished yet. He's got 45 seconds to wrestle, and one might think, well, the best thing to do is just be kind of lay back and wait. But there's 2 problems there. Number one, you get penalized for stalling in this sport. Number two, that other guy may not let you lay back and wait.
32 seconds in this match between the regional champions. Again, both coming in with regional wins and great seasons. Pat Mosier from the St. Mary Bears trailing right now. Jairo Rito, a sophomore from Leota, out in front with 27 seconds, and he's going to get the gold or the first place championship in this state tournament. It looks like anyway.
Well, if he doesn't do anything really bad here, it looks like he's got it wrapped up. Of course, he's coming around for another takedown here. He should have it here pretty quick.
10 seconds and counting. Coming up will be the 112 matchup between Gable of St. Francis and Lawrence of Harrington. That's going to be a great one, too. 2 more points there for the wrestler from Leota, Rito. And he's going to get the match. A very aggressive win for the sophomore. The final 10-3, again over the sophomore from St. Mary's. A great tournament for both wrestlers.
Yeah, Rito just did an excellent job of controlling the match. He went out and he wrestled the match that he wanted to wrestle and didn't ever let Mosier take over and run things the way he wanted.
I was very impressed with Rito. He was able to work well from the standing or the neutral position, and once he got on the ground, he did a nice job on those reversals.
I saw Rito wrestle earlier in the season, and I knew then that he was going to do some good.
So Rito,
an excellent wrestler.
Boy, he did some good to the tune of about 29 wins and 5 losses on the season. A great season for Pat Mosier. It goes 31-6. So congratulations to both wrestlers. The state champ at 103 pounds, Jairo Rito from the Leota